keep working, man. Just keep working. That's what I have to say. Just keep working. Stop with the fucking bullshit and the phoniness. There's enough of that in the world. Just be you. That's why a lot of people don't get discovered, because you want to be somebody else. There's already Brad Pitt, there's already George Clooney, there's already fucking a million great actors. What sets you apart? As an artist, what sets you apart? What makes you different? One minute detail in your life will separate the men and the boys. Freedom is what I do every day. Freedom is what I do every day. Define the word freedom and patriot is a free thinker. Is being free enough to fight a fight even when people are against it. And that's freedom.
Do you consider yourself free?
I'm about as free as you can get. Actually, there's a chief on the Yonkers Fire Department that calls me freehead. It's a term of endearment, but he says, hey, freehead, what's going on? What color is the sky in your world? Like everybody else is blue. I just see it a little deeper. Why do they pick the street?
For the artist.
Because in the art world, if you are successful enough to have people, number one, start recognizing your images, and the art is secondary. It's the message behind it. And once people start following the images, that's why we chose Diane Arbus's image, because, and doctored it up a little, but we chose it because it's an incredible, it's especially for the safety and sanctity of children, put in harm's way through war, poverty, disease, give it a name, but they are. And somebody's got to fight for the kids of the world, and honestly, that's what the Army of One is doing. Soldiers in their own rights are children. They're teenagers, they're 20-somethings. You know what? I understand they're fighting for America, but that's what makes me a patriot as well. I'm separating war and soldiers. Some people who are narrow-minded and have tunnel vision call me a communist, spit at me. I'm unpatriotic. Hold on. I am pro-soldier. I raise money for soldiers, wounded warriors, and soldiers organizations. I'm against the idea of war for profit and why we are warring. We're not fighting for holy democracy, people. Do I need to tell you that? I mean, I don't understand when people look on the TV and saying, we're fighting our borders, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're shutting down our borders, and we're protecting you, by the way. Maybe you are. I never saw a reason why America had to be the world police. Because we're the bad guys in everybody's mind. Always, we're the bad guys. I don't care if you give a country $1 trillion. We can't feed our own. Down the street, I have homeless and starving people. The sharing community here, sharing community there. They're starving in my own neighborhood. And I'm all about taking care of, the world's problems, but do we need to be the world police? People will say, well, you get on your soapbox, what do you do about it? What do I do about it? Come spend a day in my fucking life, I'll tell you what I do about it. I raise money for the less fortunate. I spend time with the less fortunate. I was the fucking less fortunate. The government creates their own world of illegalities that they deem legal, like the lottery. Okay, they didn't get enough from the gangsters back in the day when they were number runners, so they created their own numbers, okay? And what they do is who plays the numbers? The poor and the middle class with these hopes of getting a better home with a white picket fence. We all have this dollar and a dream, and I love that they have the most brilliant campaign strategies. $1 and a dream, gotta be in it to win it.
And hey, you get
Never know. So what happens? Somebody wins $250 million fucking dollars. Okay? $250 million. After taxes, you're lucky if you get 50. Right? That's number one. 50. Because they cut it in half and then they tax you on it. That's a little insane. So they get three quarters. The government gets 3/4 of your winning. You're happy because you have 50 million, but you just had 250 million.
Yeah,
but that's not what bugs me. Here's what bugs me. They get the person on the news, right? Hey man, you just won $250 fucking million. What are you gonna do with it? Now, as long as I've been alive, I have never saw one person on TV. They may have done it in private, and they may do it in private, but I've never seen the lottery run a commercial and saying, hey, Curtis Sharp, you just won $250 million. What are you gonna do with it? You know what I'm gonna do with it? I'm giving $50 million to charity. Government, lottery, run a fucking commercial recognizing charities and saying, you know what, if you win $250 million, maybe you should think about giving some money to the less fortunate. I know yesterday, you were less fortunate, right? You probably got $20 in the bank. You just won the lottery. Just think about it.
I know, and a lot of times I think we do pass judgment and we think, oh, they've chosen that route. They want to stay there. They've done something to get there. And maybe some of them are so used to living on the streets that they are comfortable there. That's what they know. But they may know something we don't know. A lot of these people on the streets are really talented, they're really intelligent, they're really artistic. And I don't know.
How much can be taken, left destroyed and broken, lying with no sound, no light, aching all the time, with darkness pulling down, trying to move through black and murky ground, push against the sorrow and the pain, but they control everything.
Like I just always wanted to make a difference, and I didn't think that it would be with the homeless. I really didn't. I've always felt I was one of, the majority. I didn't know what I could do. And then I realized it could really be something as simple as helping someone make it to their next meal. And like we say, we're using our own two hands to make a difference. You always need someone. We can't really go through this life alone. You need someone or some people that can lift you up and tell you, keep going, don't stop. Because a lot of times, I think when you're trying to chase a dream or to make a difference, there's a lot of times where you want to stop, where you think you should stop, or you think that you're not making a difference. And that's not a good feeling, but everyone needs someone to remind them that they are making a difference, and your big change or your success could be right around the corner, but if you turn around now, you're never going to make it to the corner. I am actually really grateful that we live in America. I think of that, and I think of the time that I spent abroad or volunteering in Africa, and I didn't realize how much freedom we do have here. We do have the freedom to express our beliefs and express what upsets us, and we also have the freedom to write to politicians or to try to make a difference. So I think freedom is just having space, having the ability to try to change something. And I think we do have a lot of freedom here. And I think we should take advantage of it in a good way. I think I always I traveled independently, I live alone. I've always, which I'm grateful for, because it gives you a bigger sense of freedom, because you really can do what you want and when you want it. So I think it's played a good role. It's lifted me up and sort of encouraged me. It hasn't really halted me in any